We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey everybody, episode 21 of Vikings Uncensored coming at you.
Exciting, man.
Yeah, our intent was to record down at training camp on Thursday while we were down there.
We were there.
We were there, but we had some technical difficulties with the recording setup.
It's our first year, man.
And also there was a fairly significant wind, so the recording we did try to do, the microphones were picking up a lot of wind noise and stuff, so the video wasn't of the quality that we would like to put out for you guys.
Right.
So here we are Friday morning doing a reshoot.
We don't want you guys all suffering trying to hear what we're trying to say and then listening to the wind and shit like that. This is not very,
no, not very professional.
Unless you're gonna look at the scenery behind us, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But so anyway, we'll give you guys a breakdown of what we saw at training camp. Final day
Good,
yesterday.
the bad, the ugly.
Yep, the good, and there was some of each.
Yep.
And then we'll kind of look forward to tomorrow's preseason opener against the same Denver Broncos that we practiced against the last 2 days.
Already here, man. God,
Yep.
came up quick.
It did. But before we get into that, there's a couple of news things that have popped up since we did our little mini episode on Monday. First of all, it came out Thursday morning that Christian Darrisaw had gone to Philadelphia. Everybody was wondering where he was at on Wednesday because he wasn't on the field, and came out Thursday morning that he actually had to go have another procedure done on that core injury that he was dealing with.
Minor, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, Danielle Hunter's thing was minor too. So they're
that's true.
They're saying they're hopeful he can be ready for week one. Now, if he's ready for week one, he's not playing week one. I would just about put a guarantee on that right now.
Zimmer always does.
Well, and if he can't practice,
up an injury,
and he hasn't hardly practiced, so I mean,
and he's a rookie.
At this point in time, I would be surprised if we see him play any meaningful snaps until
I would say 3 weeks in,
week 3, week 4 at the earliest.
Yeah,
could be later than that. With that, of course, we end up having our buddy Rashad Hill. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing on the Darrisaw thing. I think that's why he slid so far in the draft. I think
it's
a lot of teams knew something was going on there, and that's why he fell so far.
Very possible.
But that's just my take on that. So
right. But back to what I was saying there now.
Right. Yep.
Rashad Hill is going to be our starting left tackle right now, which, week one against Cincy, probably going to be okay there. But if we start, getting into some more quality teams, I think we're going to have an issue.
Yeah, better edge rushers.
Yep. So, I mean,
Rashad Hill is not a starter. He is a guy he's good in spot duty, and he's a quality backup. So we know what Rashad is, and we know where his ceiling is. He's already hit his ceiling. It's not going to get any better. So
right. So I mean, if I'm Spielman right now, I'm scrounging the wire, looking to see if there's anybody that we can bring in at least.
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby. What's the name? We threw out his name.
I've heard the whispers, and you have too. And we heard them yesterday. Russell Okung.
Russell Okung, yeah, he's been the big name that's been bantered around. I know.
But he's what, 48 years old?
Yeah, I mean he's up there.
He's seasoned.
But even at his age, he'd still be an improvement over Rashad Hill.
Be an upgrade over
Rashad.
And
he probably could possibly be a placeholder until Darisaw is ready.
Darisaw can come in, right?
Now the downside with Okung, other than his age, is he's been battling a little injury stuff the last few years too. So can he stay healthy? That would be the question.
That goes with age,
right? As
well.
But anyway, one more on the injury front. On Wednesday, it came out that wide receiver, undrafted free agent Blake Prohl went down with a significant knee injury.
And it was nasty, apparently.
Yep. Now, they haven't really said much about it, other than the fact I know that Prohl had gone on his Instagram account yesterday, I guess.
Okay.
And had posted, something that basically the way he was talking, he's done for the year. So
yeah. God, yeah.
But the team really hasn't said much about it. But my guess is he goes on injured reserve and takes the year to recuperate, and then we see what we got with him again next year.
It saves his spot on the team anyways, getting put on injured reserve. So
right,
see what happens.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the main news from the team anyway. So now we'll go to our impressions of what we saw at training camp yesterday when we were down there. Started off, I guess, at the beginning, when the players were starting to come out. First Viking out onto the field by a good 10 minutes was Kellen Mond. He was out there by himself, stretching, doing his thing, throwing around tossing the ball around with a coach. Then Jake Browning came out, like I said, about 10 minutes
shortly
later.
After,
And Kirk took his own sweet time getting out there, but
Kirk does what Kirk wants.
He's big time. So
Kirk goes where Kirk wants to go.
Right. But then once, the players all came out, we noticed that, of course, Justin Jefferson wasn't practicing. He was out on the field, catching balls and throwing around a little bit, but
he was looking pretty spry out there.
He's still nursing that AC sprain in his shoulder that, he sustained earlier in the week.
As far as nursing goes, he doesn't look like he was nursing it too much. If it was me out there and I got a sprain, he's out there fucking.
I'm pretty sure it's his non-throwing shoulder that is the one that he sprained. So, he
fool me.
He was whipping the ball pretty good with his, which I know I commented to Lance when we were sitting down there that we know that Jefferson can throw the ball now. So if Clint with a K wants to get a little bit creative with a C, we can.
He could totally whip it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So beyond Jefferson, Daniil Hunter went through individual walkthrough stuff, but he wasn't in pads. So I don't
think it's any concern.
No, I think they were just kind of keeping him, keeping an eye on him and stuff.
Keeping him fresh.
Yep. But then a couple guys that were missing in action.
There we go.
Nate Stanley wasn't there that we saw.
Oh boy. Now we're going to lose every single game.
Yep.
And here we go.
I mean, we had the four quarterbacks. Etling was there, and of course, Mond and Browning and Kirk. But and maybe Stanley was in street clothes. I couldn't pick him out of an empty room.
No.
So but he wasn't out there throwing the ball around. He wasn't suited up anyway. But the main one and he's been missing for 2 days now, is Anthony Barr. He wasn't there on Wednesday and he wasn't out there on Thursday. So I don't know what's going on there. Of course, Zimmer is forthcoming.
I have my thoughts on Barr, but I will keep them to myself because
very
nice.
Well, and I don't know if he's hurt again or what the heck's going on, but something's going on with Barr, so that bears watching.
Right. I'll wait until we get a little bit of a word of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, he might show up and on Saturday, pad it up and play a series and everything's well and good. He may be missing if he's missing on Saturday, then I think we really need to be a concern there for something. But
which we'll head on if that's the case.
Right. We'll talk about that next week. Couple other quick things, pre-practice part of things. When Alexander Madison came out, that guy's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
he is a brick shit house for sure.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, we knew he was, built.
Yeah.
But I did not realize how big he actually is.
He made Dalvin Cook look small.
Yeah.
Until Dalvin, when Dalvin was over throwing footballs into the crowd after the game or after practice was over, that dude's got some arms on him.
Dalvin looked like Dalvin, and he looked to be ready to go for sure.
Yep. One other cool thing pre-practice, for the second day in a row, Von Miller came over in front of the stands and did the skull chant with the crowd that was out there. So
very classy of him.
Yep.
Class act.
Von Miller's a good dude. He was, of course, the Vikings,
anybody would be lucky to have him on their team. Honestly.
Vikings social media, took off with it. And, Von Miller is a free agent in 2022. Maybe he wants to come play for Minnesota.
Oh, my God. It comes with the territory, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a cool gesture from him. He was trying to pumping the crowd up. And I know on Wednesday, he had actually went over where he wasn't supposed to go and took pictures with a few fans and stuff too. So
that's pretty cool.
He's
pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude by all accounts. But now let's get into the practice stuff itself here a little bit. I guess starting off with the quarterbacks, early on in the, I don't remember if it was 11 on 11 or 7 on 7 drills, but Browning threw a pick six that
Browning did not look good at all.
No, everybody's talking about how great Browning has looked.
You had an off day.
And there were some people who were even saying that he looked good yesterday, and I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it either.
His accuracy was off. He was sailing some throws. Of course, Kirk didn't look overly great either, I didn't think. He threw some nice passes. Thielen's his security blanket. He was hitting those, hitting.
He had a couple ugly throws too.
Yeah.
That one into the ground was pretty nasty.
Yeah, one he had
the one like wicked jump throw that he had yesterday that went nowhere. That was
part of the problem was and we'll get to these guys here in a little bit, was the offensive line wasn't doing him any favors.
Yeah, that was nasty.
But we'll get to those guys here in a minute.
Mine looked pretty decent.
Yeah. Now I see after practice again yesterday, Zimmer came out and said that Mon needs to pick the pace up a little bit. He's taking too long to go through his reads and that kind of stuff, which, he's a rookie, he's NFL, it's understandable.
Killing Mon, call a timeout in practice yesterday.
Yep. Which Zimmer wasn't real happy about that one either, because when you have to, when you get up to the line and then have to call a quick timeout because you forgot what you're supposed to be doing, everybody has a brain fart. I'm not going to rail on the kid for that too much, but he did have a couple of really nice throws though. Good zip on the ball, nice tight spiral. He had a little bit uneven, what's been the knock on him so far, but he missed 10 days of practice, so he's still a little bit rusty.
Right. And he's a rookie still.
And he's a rookie. And this all leads into the thing of why, for the most part, 2021 should be a redshirt year for him, so he can get up to speed, learn all this stuff, and, take him along slow so he does.
And the fact that he missed 10 days of practice, as well, like you said.
Right. On to the running backs, like you had mentioned a little bit ago there, Lance. Dalvin Cook is Dalvin Cook. He is.
Couple breakaways yesterday.
Yep. Well, actually, all three of the top running backs had
good days.
Runs. Madison broke at least one nice long
run.
I
am surprised what I see from 26 as well.
Yep.
Getting ahead of you here. I'm sorry, bud. But.
Yeah, you're fine. He was going to be my next talking point anyway.
That's what I figured. It's early, guys.
Right. Yeah, we're recording here at 8:00 this morning. So, but yeah, Kane Nwangu, whatever his name. I think that's how you say it.
Close.
I think that's how you say it.
Kane Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, we'll go with that. but he is as fast as advertised. That kid,
he's one cut and gone.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I noticed a couple times when he went around the corner, most guys will slow down in the turn a little bit. Not him. He's 100%
all the way through one speed, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's fast.
Mm-hmm. And they had him back doing some kickoff returns and stuff too, and he was busting a couple three really good
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
and one of his was one of them.
Yeah, we'll hit the special team stuff in a little bit, but then over onto the they were practicing on two fields, so they had the offense going on one field against Denver's defense, and then our defense against Denver's offense the other side. So it was a little hard to keep an eye on everything because trying to watch over here, then you hear something, you look over there, and back and forth.
Right.
But we'll hit the offensive line first. We'll take care of the rest of the offense before we hit the defense. But
okay.
Oli Udo and Dakota Dozier were running with the ones again yesterday.
Udo looked good.
Yeah,
Udo is looking like what they're saying.
He didn't seem like he was getting pushed around too much or anything like that. Rashad Hill got beat pretty good a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Dozier was getting worked by Shamar Steffen, if that tells you anything.
Oh, also, and I don't think you had this wrote down either. Samia was seeing some starting time at left guard as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was mixing it in with Ezra Cleveland, and
yep.
Every time Samia was out there, he was getting worked.
Yeah,
bad. But then when he started seeing the threes and sometimes with the twos, Wyatt Davis out there, I thought Wyatt Davis had a hell of a day.
He might have looked like our best offensive lineman yesterday, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Now, granted, some of this was, it was against Denver's twos and threes, so it wasn't going up against Von Miller and company. But I remember on one play in specific, I was paying attention to.
The best ones always stick out, regardless of what Stern's playing.
Davis actually blocked three guys on one run play. He took his first guy, shoved him the hell out of the way. Another guy was coming through. He grabbed him, knocked him back. And then there was a third guy that was coming in toward the end of the play, and he gave him a good pop just for good measure.
Some good take for sure for him today or yesterday on practice.
Yep. Now some of the chippy, it was starting to get a little chippy, especially with our offense and their defense.
Yep, it was.
Couple of those chippy spots, I guess, when I was looking into it afterwards last night. Davis was kind of in the middle of some of that stuff. So
nice.
I saw
what our offensive line needs is some nasty.
Some nasty. Yep.
That's not going to
control nastiness. Not something that we're going to get penalized for. But yeah, we need some nasty.
Right. Right. We do need somebody that's a goon up there especially at the guard. For sure. Also, Davis put somebody on their ass yesterday.
Yeah, he had a nice pancaked him too, real good. I didn't see.
I can't recall who he was going up against, but it was a nice play.
Yep. So I mean, I don't know what the coaches are seeing, and other than we all know what Zimmer's idea is with rookies and this, that, and the other thing. But just in the one practice we saw yesterday,
Davis looks the part.
There's no way, shape, or form that Dakota Dozier should be over Wyatt Davis right now.
I believe Davis starts week 1 somewhere along that line.
I don't know. That Brett, they've been working him a little bit at center. I didn't see him at center yesterday at all.
I didn't either. No.
Bradbury, again, is not looking great in pass protection, which is worrisome, because he's that center of the pocket. And if he's getting pushed back into Kirk all the time, it's not going to be.
Mm-hmm. I seen more of the penetration coming from the outside yesterday than what I did from the middle.
Yeah.
Although I did see the middle get blown up a couple of times.
Yeah. So
but most of the time when the rush was coming, it was coming from the ends.
Mm-hmm. So that'll bear watching, but
right.
So now we'll go over to what we kind of saw on the defense. The best part, I guess, I saw the entire day of the defense was Eric Kendricks looking like all-pro form.
He looked like he was in week 8 of the season, honestly.
Yep. There was 3 consecutive plays. And for those, the Teddy Tubbies were out in full force yesterday, of course, 2 of Teddy Bridgewater out there, but 3 consecutive plays. The first one, Teddy threw a horrible pass right at Kendricks. Yep. I mean,
Merry Christmas. Advantage of it.
Merry Christmas. Kendricks intercepted it and housed it.
Yep.
Then the very next play, he damn near intercepted again. And but he got a pass breakup on it. And then the play after that, he came free and would have creamed Teddy, had they been allowed to hit the quarterbacks. And so basically a pass break or an interception, a pass breakup, and a sack in 3 consecutive plays.
And then about 3 or 4 plays later, he had another interception.
Yep. That one came off of the wide receiver.
That was a bobbler.
Bobbled it and popped it back out, and Kendricks was there to catch it. But it's still 2 interceptions, within about 10 minutes.
And potentially 3, but the pass breakup, hell, I'll take it. That's
yeah. Because
Kendricks might be one of the best coverage middle linebackers in the league as far as.
Well, I think he's one of the best middle linebackers, period, in the league. But
you're right.
He doesn't get the recognition, but
I do believe he had the most pass breakups among linebackers last year, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And then
he was up there anyway.
He was up there with the corners as far as pass breakups go because he gets so many. It's crazy.
Yep. Now with that, we're going to segue into the secondary and the corners. See what I did there?
That was nice.
But our secondary looked bad.
Granted, we didn't see a lot of Peterson or Breland.
No, or Harrison Smith.
Harrison Smith.
They were all padded up, but they weren't out doing much. It was mostly the two. You saw the 2s and the 3s that were out there.
Zimmer was giving them kind of a day off, but
yeah,
or something like that. Who knows? But we've seen a lot of Harrison Hand. We've seen a lot of
Chris
Gansler,
Boyd.
And then Chris Boyd. Seen a lot of him. They were not looking good.
Perry Nickerson looked terrible. Granted, he's just a camp guy. He's not going to make the roster anyway. But
no,
it was really bad. They were getting burned. The only saving grace was that both Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater neither one of them looked very good. They were throwing.
They got noodle arms.
Well, their accuracy was off, and they were skying or airing out passes too far and things like that. So it could have been a lot worse if they'd have been on. Either one of them had been on, but.
Although we did get burnt for 2 deep passes for touchdowns, which were both ugly.
Yeah, one was against Chris Boyd, and I forget. Perry Nickerson had another one.
Harrison Hand had one that he let go on the deep route.
Right. But it's bad when after practice and Zimmer's got the defense circled around me. We could hear him yelling at the guys from the stands.
Right.
So
deservedly so.
Yeah, because the front 7 looks really good.
Yeah.
Again, Michael Pierce for the second day in a row. He was out there. He was disruptive up in the middle.
He's going to be a Pro Bowler this year.
Yeah.
If he could stay healthy, knock on wood.
Yeah. From the defensive ends, like I said, Hunter wasn't practicing, so we didn't get to see much from him. The young guys, there were a couple of splash plays. I saw Robinson get in there once.
I didn't even see anything on Surratt yesterday.
No, he was out there. I saw him a couple of times, but he didn't really stand out, I guess.
Didn't stand out, right.
James Lynch, by all accounts, was looking pretty good up inside there and playing the tackle position.
He had some good reps.
Yeah, I saw a tweet last night when I got home. I was reading through some of the stuff that one of the coaches, I don't know if it was Zim or if it was Patterson or who it was, but said that he's been one of the most surprising and most impressive guys that have
that's good to hear,
have bettered themselves from last year. So
I'm guessing he might have won himself a roster spot, possibly.
I mean, we've got a lot of guys up there, with
like James. I want to see, I like all of our players, and I want to see them all, succeed. But I like James. He came in last year. He got a sack on fucking Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And then you didn't see nothing out of him after that. But
one other thing I did notice, we were lining Sheldon Richardson up at end quite a few times yesterday.
Yeah, I seen that too. They're moving him all around that line.
Mm-hmm. So with that being, being able to move these guys around the defensive line and stuff, it's going to be a benefit. And
I honestly believe, mark my words, that by the end of the season, Michael Pierce is going to be the best nose tackle in the league.
I mean, he the way he's looked the last couple of days, if that's any indication, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yep.
You know, like I said, the front seven, by all accounts, looked pretty damn good. It's the back end that I'm concerned with. Now, maybe, you know, being it's practice, these guys aren't allowed to hit, you know, aren't going 100%.
Right.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
But you know, I guess we'll see, you know, when they actually are allowed to start hitting and stuff on Saturday, maybe hopefully things will look different. But other than that, you know, the wide receivers, I guess we didn't really hit on them very much. Thielen, of course, looked like Thielen.
Right.
You know, the KJ Osborne again looked pretty good. He had some really nice catches. The one that really surprised me yesterday was Chad Beebe.
Yeah,
Beebe's making this roster. There's no question about that.
Yeah, he will. He's a steady hand.
I mean, and of course, you know, we still haven't seen anything of Dede Westbrook, but right now, Chad Beebe and KJ Osborne are our wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, whichever way you want to put him.
Beebe looked good, and he has good hands, man. He's just not this dude prototypical size for a receiver that you want. He's like,
yeah, I mean, his dad wasn't hands also, but you know, and if Beebe can stay healthy, you know, he's he's progressing. You know, we make fun of Chad all the time. We love you, Chad, everything, but you know, it's right. But no, and I'll flat out say it. I was impressed with how Beebe looked yesterday. He made a couple of really nice catches.
Yeah, he did.
Now, one of the better catches of the day was actually the one that the offense ended the practice part on.
Yeah.
It was a 4th down play, and Jake Browning hit Amir Smith-Marset in the corner of the end zone in traffic.
Yeah.
The hell of a catch. And then you got to see a little bit of Smith-Marset's attitude afterwards. He started doing his dance.
He is confident, man, which I like to see.
Yep.
You know,
he's got some cockiness to him, and it was Courtney Cronin must have been down here because she tweeted about it. He made some comment when he was doing his dance. He's like, this shit's easy or whatever. So I like the confidence, kid, but you better be able to back it up if you're going to.
One thing that we both noticed was ISM is up Thielen's ass, which is good.
Yep, you know, every time, you know, when they weren't out doing something before practice, after practice, wherever you saw Thielen, Smith-Marset was tailing him, walking around with him.
Onto his pocket for sure,
basically, which is good to see. I mean, you know, if
he's smart, he picked the right guy to be following around.
Yep. Quick thing on the special teams, we didn't do any field goal kicking yesterday. See there again, we're going to bring it around again.
Right.
But I guess on Wednesday, Greg Joseph went 5 for 5 on all of his kicks. So that's something. I'm not going to, you know,
when it comes to kickers, you don't put all your money into one basket for sure, especially around these parts.
I'm not going to get too worked up over him making 5 kicks in practice. But then we did see a little bit of kick and punt return type stuff. And I see where Zimmer's came out a couple of times saying that Smith-Marset needs to get better on special teams because that's probably where he's going to, you know, start out. He was doing some kick returns. There was like 4 or 5 guys back there. They each got about 2 returns. But the first one, Marset muffed it, popped him right in the chest and bounced away. And then the second,
couldn't rally it in.
It was kind of a short kick and he was too far back. I think that was part of his problem. But you know, that's part of the thing of being a kick returner is you have to position yourself when you see that ball.
Right. You gotta be knowing where you're gonna have to stand to get that punt in. So
So, you know, with that one. And then the second one that he got, he fielded it, but didn't field it cleanly. He bobbled it when he brought it in. Honestly,
double clutched it basically.
Yep. Abdullah was returning.
Looked like Abdullah, you know,
he looked like he normally does.
Right. As much as I do not like Abdullah, he does the job and he gets it done.
Yep. And Osborne was back there too. Osborne was fielding. Looked like he was fielding stuff pretty cleanly.
Yeah.
You know, that kid's really taken a step since last year too. You know,
He had that renaissance, Ryan.
Yep. I said that a couple episodes ago that Osborne was going to need some sort of a renaissance in order to make this team. Well, he's obviously had that.
Poking a lot of fun at KJ there before the camp started.
I fully admit it. But hey, if that's what it takes to get some of these guys to step up, I'd rather be wrong that way than wrong saying that this guy is going to be an all-pro and turns
and then look like fucking idiot.
Laquan Treadwell or whatever. Yeah.
Oh God, that was me though. I had a lot of my eggs in Laquan's basket, and he made me look like an idiot that first year. And after that, I had no more of that shit.
Yeah, of course. Apparently, he's been looking pretty good down in Jacksonville, but granted, it's Jacksonville, and they're here again. It's
throwing the ball.
It's training camp, so yeah, we'll see what he looks like too. But he's out of here. I don't care about.
He was looking good when he was looking good at training camp here too. Every fucking year.
Right. So, so that's, I guess, basically the biggest part or wrap up on training camp. Unless you've got anything else on that one.
Sounds about good.
Okay, so with that, we'll go take a quick break here. Pop in another one of our classic beer commercials, and we'll be back in a minute.
Check him out. What a hug.
Get a load of him.
Well, there's a super party animal. His name is Buzz McKenzie. With a beach in sight and a cold Bud Light, he's in the party frenzy.
He's Spuds McKenzie, one party-loving, happening dude.
Go, Spuds, go, Spuds, go.
Bye, Spuds. Call me.
Go, Spuds, go.
Who's that? The life of the party, that's who.
There's a super party animal. His name is Buds McKenzie. When the sun shines bright on a cold Bud Light, he's in a party frenzy.
He's Spuds McKenzie, the posh pooch of pop culture.
Go, Spuds, go.
Spuds, you're an animal.
Go, Spuds, go.
There he is. What a happening dude.
There's a super party animal.
Yeah.
His name is Spuds McKenzie. A barbecue inside.
A barbecue.
And a cold Bud Light. Puts him in a party frenzy. He's Spuds McKenzie, Bud Light's original party animal.
Go, Spuds, go. Go, Spuds, go.
Go, Spuds, go.
Spuds, you really cooking now.
All right.
Okay, we're back. Now, next thing, I guess, is, of course, preseason game number 1 against the same Denver Broncos is tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m.
I think it's going to be heated, man.
Yeah,
I mean, there's going to be a lot of good popping going on in that game.
With the chippiness that we saw at camp yesterday, these guys haven't really been able to hit anybody, so this will be their first opportunity to do so. Some of these guys that, need to step it up. This is their first chance in real, honest to God.
This is where we're going to see some real game speed going on here.
Yep. So I guess, what do you want to see out of this preseason game, Lance?
I want to see what these rookies, these guys that we just got brought in, are bringing to the table. I want to see what they look like on the field in real time, full force, what exactly it is these guys are bringing. So that's one of them. I want to see if our secondary looks better than what it did yesterday, and go from there. I'm just looking for the small things at this point in this first preseason game. Technique, make sure everybody's doing their jobs, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess with me, priority number 1, like you'd mentioned, is seeing what our secondary is going to look like in actual game conditions, because what I saw yesterday worried me. It worried me a lot. No,
me too.
Now, granted, like we said, we didn't see too much of Patrick Peterson, Harrison Smith, or Rashad Breeland out there, but we're not going to see a lot of that tomorrow either. They may get a series or 2, and that's about it.
All I know is that Locke and Teddy were finding guys in bubbles in between zones, and they were wide open. We're like, what the fuck? The dude's wide open. What's going on here?
Yep. And
if you guys were finding the soft spots and zones, man, and they were exploiting it.
If you're getting worked by Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, you could be in for a long season.
You're right.
So, we'll see what happens there. The other thing that I want to see is that fly to get out of my face.
They've been bad this year, man.
I know. Well, it's getting to be about that time of year too, but
yeah.
The other big thing I want to see is the quarterback play. Now, granted, we know Kirk's not going to get more than a series.
I'm hoping we see some Mond. I know that's up in the air as far as right now, and Zim's not really saying whether or not he's going to get any time. At least I haven't heard recently.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it was 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what Mond brings in a live game setting.
Yeah, I do too. But the one I want to, that I'm really want to see is how Jake Browning goes, because, the talk, of course, early on in camp, when everybody was out with their COVID issues and whatnot, was how good Browning was looking. And like I said, I didn't see it yesterday. I thought he looked, he looked
in my opinion, a guy is going to look better when he's running with the ones, just because he's running with the best on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And Browning got that, and he took full advantage of it.
Right. So, I want to see how, and Browning's probably going to get the lion's share of the work tomorrow, I would think.
Yeah, I would assume so as well.
Not seeing Stanley out there yesterday, I don't know that he'll play.
I don't think so either.
And Etling was out there all day yesterday, but he wasn't even when they were running.
He wasn't getting very many reps at all.
When they were running like the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s and stuff, he wasn't out there at all. It was all the other three. Kirk with Kirk with the ones, Browning with the twos, and Mon with the threes. So if it's me, I'm guessing Mon probably gets at least the fourth quarter tomorrow. We'll see.
Right.
But
I think he would.
I do want to see him get in some game action too and see
exactly
see what he looks like. Beyond that, offensive line, I'm going to be watching that real close again. I want to see if Wyatt Davis actually gets out there and plays, how he looks, because like I said, I was impressed with him yesterday.
Yeah, right.
So see if that transfers over to game, and see how Oli Udo looks, because I'm guessing he'll get a little bit of work. Being The
thing with Udo is he's a specimen, man.
He's a big
boy.
Yep. And honestly, he's probably built better as a guard than he is as a tackle. But
yeah.
We'll see how that looks. And then also, of course, what we're doing at left tackle, knowing that Darisaw is not going to be ready for bare minimum another month.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we'll see what happens. And then we'll do a breakdown on the game next week. So with that, I don't have anything else. How about you, Lance?
That sounds about right as far as coverage for yesterday's camp. It sounds about up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. So with that, I want to thank everybody for watching again. We're into the 20s now on our episodes, so we're continuing to progress. And as the season gets here, we're going to have a lot of cool stuff and a lot of good breakdowns and stuff for you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, we'd love it if you do hit that little subscribe button down there. It helps us out a lot. Helps build up the analytics and stuff on YouTube.
More subscribers,
get our names out there and stuff a little better. Check us out on all the social media channels. We're getting a lot of followers over on the Facebook page and stuff, which thank every one of you guys for showing up over there. We're audio podcasts. We also have those available on pretty much all of your favorite podcasting services. And with that, what?
You're trying to think of the word and you're like, podcasting services.
Well, hey, it's been a long couple of days.
Brain fart there at the end.
Yeah, no, you couldn't remember who Von Miller was.
I know, I had a hell of a time. Who's Von Miller? I had a hell of a time thinking about who the fuck he was yesterday when we were recording. Thank God you don't have that feed.
But anyway, with that, why don't you take us out of here, Lance?
Thanks, guys. Episode 21 in the books. We appreciate you guys coming here. We had a blast yesterday. It was a good time. We're going to do it again next year. Maybe be a little bit more prepared. This is our first year. We're rookies. We're getting eased in as well. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate having you here. You guys are watching us grow. We're getting better. I can feel it. We're getting more analytical. And, we'll see where this road takes us. And with that being said, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you
thanks
guys.
for watching, guys.
Have a
All
good
you
one.
out there, thanks for having us in.